Hello everyone, Sigillum here once again. In this video we're gonna talk about cover fire. Pretty overlooked movement in Escape From Tarkov, which can have its benefits if practiced correctly. As you know, there are two types of blind fire. Overhead blind fire and blind fire to the left, which is called right side blind fire in the controls menu. We will call it left side blind fire since you can only fire to the left side. As default, overhead blind fire control is holding left Alt and pressing the W key, while left blind fire is the same but pressing S key. Of course, you can change that to a toggle which enables you to hold that movement if desired, but I personally left it to press since it can be used only in specific situations. Also, these movements have their own limitations which we will mention as we explain every particular movement. As you can see in the video, it can be used very well against enemies which are camping some obvious spots or scavs which are not moving. Overhead blind fire on the other side can be used in, for example, hallways where people are rushing you or waiting you to stand up. Or throwing grenades without risking going out of cover, whether overhead or to the left, and eventually getting hit while maintaining the right grenade trajectory. In the next examples you can see these movements in practice and obvious benefits. Dropping a scav without aggro and taking hits. Keeping the horde in check by throwing the grenade in the line of hallway. Or throwing the grenade in the same exact spot while being in cover. Let's start with my interpretation of the blind fire to the left side. I positioned myself in a straight line and left markings of shooting, or bullet holes if you want to call it that way. Next, I used the left blind fire in a way to rotate my body or torso if you want to call it, so it faces the same direction in the beginning. According to my approximation, you can only blind fire to the left at an angle of 25 to maximum 30 degrees. This is only an estimation since I cannot take any realistic measurements in game. Enough to say that the ray of the supposed 90 degrees is at the bottom of the screen, but it is actually beneath my feet in the game. Since I am unable to show that on the screen, I improvised a little. You will see that the measurements are quite okay if you ask me. First, I left the initial marking of the wall. Then I left the same markings approximately at the angle of 25 to 30 degrees, so if I presume correctly, aiming at the right markings and using left blind fire to throw the grenade should hit the place beneath the left markings. Observe. Right on point. Except be careful so this doesn't happen. Or this. As you can see, it has its downsides, but with enough practice, these things should not happen. Next is the overhead blind fire, and this one is kinda slippery. Similar to the previous method, I left two markings. The first one in a regular crouch state and the second one in overhead blind fire. Important thing is that the line of blind fire should be parallel to the line of regular fire in crouch position to accomplish the desired effect of shooting someone who is directly ahead of the cover. With previously said, you can shoot above cover by raising the line of fire by approximately 1 meter or a little less, while maintaining the straight parallel line of shooting ahead of you. unless you wish to shoot higher if someone is above you. Everything previously stated is meant for grenades also. One more thing before the end. The positioning is also important. With a laser it is easy to conclude where your shots will go, and with that easy to conclude if you are positioned correctly. Without the laser, when you cannot figure where you will fire, if you stand too close to the obstacle you won't be able to even lift your rifle at the correct angle, whether blind shooting to the left or above you. This is one of the ways to do it. You can approach all the way up to the wall, and when your weapon sticks out it is certain that the line of fire is clear. You can distance yourself away also, but then you increase the rays connected to the vertex of the angle and increase the chance to be at the wrong angle. In the end, what else to say than practice makes perfect. Find your way to approach and do these movements, practice it, and do not let the potential go to waste. After all, better to get your leg or arm shot up than your head. Until next time, pozdrav!